you've got your head into idealism, you'll be cut off from communication with God. Man called me just the other day in the radio program, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, and he said, please pray that I'll have more love. So I asked him what he meant by love, and the ultimate thing was that he wanted this feeling of affection and toward everybody in the world, because he feels that God says love everybody. Well, I said, let's go to the extremes. Hitler was a beast, threw 6 million people into an oven. Now, I suppose you think that God wants this river of tenderness and affection to flow from your heart toward this monster. Well, he says, no, I don't believe. No, that isn't love. I don't. Well, I said, let's go all the way back down to the other end then. But you feel that love is a sense of tenderness and affection toward those that you work with every day, toward the people that you have to do with, your friends and your neighbors. Yes, he said, that's love. See, he's caught in the jaws of idealism. He's living in the outer realm of feeling and doesn't understand what love is. He thinks that love is passing the point of ever having any feeling of irritability or anger. I don't know, is there anybody here that's got there yet? Jerry, if you have, I'd appreciate a road map. Find out how you got there. No, you've got your Achilles heel. You may have yourself in pretty good control, but every once in a while, something pierces that flesh. And that old irritation rises, that anger rises. Now, love is not the absence of all feelings of hostility or irritability or anger or resentment toward anybody. How did Jesus show love in its highest form? He was unjustly crucified, nails driven into his hands and feet, and he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He could have called a legion of angels and killed everyone in that city, but he didn't do it. What is love? It's expressing the righteousness and the forgiveness that God is giving you by refusing to retaliate, by turning the other cheek. Now, what is the other cheek? You hear a lot about this. Now, how many times really is anybody going to give you a smack across the chops? Let's be realistic about it. It isn't going to happen very often, is it? Well, do you think that Jesus put something here in the Bible that's hardly ever going to happen to you, and yet put such stress and importance upon it? Now, let's look at it spiritually. Let's peel the banana. What is your face? Your cheek. It's the image that you present to the world. It's the image that you present to your friends and your neighbors and to the people at church. It's your self-image. It's what you present to the world. And when somebody takes a shot at that, what's your first reaction? You want to defend that image. You want to take out your sword. You want to do battle. What did Jesus do when they dragged him toward that cross, when they scourged him and nailed him on that beam of wood? The Bible said he is led like a lamb to the slaughter, yet he opened not his mouth. What is love? It's refusing to express the humanity that will be with you as long as you live, when it wants to growl like a beast, and instead doing the will of God, simply by denying yourself. Now, some people really feel that there is some great spiritual point that you reach somewhere. Now, remember, we're talking about being cut off from communication by idealism. I think personally that idealism is the greatest threat to the church and the greatest threat to your spiritual growth, And it cuts off all communication when you get involved with it. If your head's into idealism, you're in a lot of trouble. Now, let's look at this for a minute. Jesus said something to you about lifestyle. Now, did he say that there was some spiritual point that you would reach, some great pinnacle that you could scramble up, and when you finally get up there on top of that spiritual mountain, you would be divested of all your humanity, and nothing but the great flowings of divinity would come forth from you. You'd never have any anger, any irritability. You'd never want to argue with anybody. You'd never have any resentment or grudges at all. Did Jesus tell you there was a place like that? Well, there is, and it's called heaven. When you're out of this old body. But as long as you're in this body, what did Jesus tell you to do every day? Who can tell me? What? Deny yourself. What else did he say to do? All right, what's the cross? Now, some of you think it's the husband that spits in your eye every day. That's my cross. Some of you think there's a boss that bellows and hollers at you and doesn't appreciate you every day. That's your cross to bear. Some of you think that it's a pain, a sickness. This is your cross to bear. Do you know what a cross really is? What was the cross of Christ? What happened on that cross? He forgave. He demonstrated forgiveness. What does God want you to do? Your cross is a daily demonstration of forgiveness toward everyone who offends you. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Denying yourself, your human nature, your carnality, which you will always have as long as you're in this body, carrying your cross every day, living in an attitude of love and forgiveness. Now, this doesn't mean this great feeling of affection toward everybody in the world. Some people have the strangest idea about forgiveness. They think forgiveness means if somebody steps on your toe, you forgive them. If somebody hurts you, you forgive them. No, forgiveness has it's much wider meaning than that. Listen carefully. In fact, I talked with a man the other day who used to be, he swam in about the lowest sewers you can swim in this world. He used to live an adulterous life. He stole, cheated, lied. And yet, I heard he became a Christian. The Lord forgave his sins. And I heard him condemn his neighbor because his neighbor drinks beer and smokes cigarettes. Now, he hasn't got his cross on his back. See, because he doesn't even know what it means. He doesn't know that taking up your cross means that you forgive people who do things that are offensive to you and offensive to God. And you look toward them with an attitude of mercy because what has God given you? Let him that hath not sinned cast the first stone. All right, if you've got your head into idealism, here's what's going to happen to you. You'll never be happy in any church because you'll always find out something wrong with the pastor. You'll never be happy in any prayer group because there'll always be some woman that rubs you the wrong way and you won't be able to forgive her. You'll never be happy anywhere you go. You'll drift from church to church, group to group, always blaming the pastor, always blaming the deacons. Brother, it isn't the church, it's you. We're just people. You're not going to find any perfect church or any perfect prayer group. Everywhere you go, God is going to give you somebody to forgive. I got a sign on my telephone Somebody put there, says, if no one's standing in your way, you must be in the wrong track. People are going to stand in your way. They're going to strike your self-image. You're going to be the victim of an injustice. But if you picked up your cross every day, instead of looking for perfection in people, just willingly accept them with their imperfections, like God accepted you. I know a man, this is really true, a minister who committed adultery, and he had his credentials withdrawn from him. And then in love and mercy, he was restored. They gave him back his credentials, and he got an opportunity to preach. And what was his sermon? It was about beads and colored, even preached against somebody carrying a red Bible, and about the way people dress. God forgave him for adultery, and he still had his head back there in pork chop religion. Well, if you got your head in idealism, you'll be cut off from all communication. Now, one more thing, the last thing, formalism. You know what that is? That's feeling that if you get it all together, if you have these little truths like building blocks, and you somehow put them together like these bricks correctly in your life, you get your head together with just the right truths, then you're going to be able to reach out and get anything you want from God. If you get just the right spiritual formula, well, you'll have a Cadillac in your yard tomorrow morning. If you get just the right spiritual formula, you've got the key to Fort Knox, anything you want. Well, you're living formalism, and it'll never work. Well, there's only one place for your head if you want to communicate with God. Let's look where Jacob put his. Verse 18, and Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillows. What did Jacob use for a pillow? Where was his head? His head was on the rock. When Jesus came, a prophecy was fulfilled. This is the stone that the builders rejected. And in another place it says Jesus is the rock of our salvation. When Jacob put his head on the rock, what happened? He got spiritual vision. He saw angels descending and ascending a ladder that reached into heaven. What does that mean? It means if you get your head on the rock, you start talking to God. You're plugged in to the thoughts of the Creator of this universe.
By your hand you will perfect that which is good in me. Lord, lead me slowly to the beauty locked inside, as I become an eagle, and on the winds I'll ride. Oh, fly, 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 Lord, teach me to fly, and soar like an eagle, higher than the sky. Let me tell others of your matchless love and grace, so they may see eternity and meet you face to face. Let men see your desire to live out your plan.